Edition of see how.
Yeah. That's just weird. Like, I mean, just this. Like, again, I'm gonna have to ask Dad where a lot of this stuff came from. Like, I mean, if it all came from the same bin or not, because all this stuff so far has been almost universally electronics and gaming culture stuff. But the weird thing is so all the stuff over here, you've got this Genesis Virtua Racing thing, which is from like the early 90s. Then you've got Prodigy, which is from the early 90s, and then Tetris is from the early 90s and all that stuff. But then you've got PlayStation 2, which is from a few years later. And then you go over here and you've got PSP, which is from another few years later, and Nintendo DS games. And then you've got, over here, a huge collection of PlayStation 2 games. And then you've got a 56K modem right here, 56K modem, more PlayStation 2 controllers, a GameCube controller, and then you go all the way back to, like, 1980 with all these old, you know, like, I mean, you got Asteroid, you got Combat, you got Space Invaders, all Atari games. And so it's weird, like, I'm going to have to ask him if he found all this in one bin or not, or if he found it in multiple bins, because this goes from, you know, the very, well, not the beginnings of video games, but pretty close to it, you know, all the way up to, like, almost modern day. And then the one thing, too, is there's a lot of cables here, and, like, he's got a lot of accessories that people didn't really use for gaming consoles. Like, he had that wireless PS2 thing, and I've never seen anybody with a wireless PS2, you know, adapter. And then he's got this thing here, which is, oh, that's a Microsoft webcam. I thought that was a PlayStation 2 one, where he's got a PlayStation 2 webcam over there, and then a really early Microsoft one. And then two memory cards. One is for, oh, they're both for PlayStation 2. It's just the old style. Okay, so two PlayStation 2 ones, a bunch of PlayStation 2 things. And the thing that intrigues me the most, though, is this hard drive here. It's this hard drive. I don't know what the hell is on this, and, you know, I don't really know how to hook that stuff up, and I don't want to, like, take it back with me or anything like that, because I'm afraid it's going to, like, short-circuit it. My grandma said she could send it back, but if you guys can tell me if that would fry it, even if she sent it back, you know, because it's got no covering, no case or whatever, let me know. Or if there's anything in town I could just buy to hook it up to a laptop, you know, if there's any way to hook up a hard drive like this to a laptop, let me know, because I'd love to do that. And then I still have to go through this. This thing's stuffed with, like, a bunch of CDs from the past and everything. And oh, yeah, I showed him that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I filmed that. And so it's just, like, crazy. Like, all this stuff is just, like, I mean, the freaky thing is this almost looks like something of mine. This almost looks like my handwriting, where it says, like, Train Simulator Disc 2 and all this stuff. Like, I literally have this case at home, pretty much, with, this is pretty much it. Here's CD, here's a bunch of, you know, writing on it and all this stuff. So that's the really weird one. It's like, I feel like all these games here and everything, I've got some alternate universe version of myself here that's just been, you know, going through and collecting all this stuff, and I don't know what, you know, it's just mind-blowing. Then you got Pokemon over here, you got a cover for the Nintendo DS. They really like Star Wars. There's a Star Wars Clone Wars thing here. More Pokemon, another webcam thing for, I don't know what this is for, it's probably more Microsoft stuff. And then they had a Palm Pilot, and they had a case for it. And I still have to go through these, too. There's a ton of Generation 1 of Unlimited Edition Magic the Gathering cards in here. There's a few later ones, but...
That was on the floor.
Oh, I wonder where that went. Wonder why I heard that drop. And then a Star Wars puzzle thing, like 500 pieces. So this is some crazy... Oh, and then, too, this thing that he found, a huge coin collecting book. And I'll have to go into a third video about that when Dad brings that back. But he found a bunch of stuff that he thinks is from the FBI, or it could be a guy that gets collected stuff that looks like it was from the FBI, but it's got like a lighter in it with like the presidential, you know, emblem on it and all this stuff. So some crazy shit was going on in this storage facility, you know, with all this. So I'll keep you up here. That's my grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Hello.